Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, give all praise, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekal Kodash, and of course, double honors go out to the apostles of Great Millstone who told us all this truth. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and byways, teaching this truth with all honesty and sincerity, in the hopes of waking up the remaining, hopefully elect. All right, this is 9 miles to DC camp.
Yo, sir.
All right, so today we're going to talk about Ezekiel, the 22nd chapter. All right, kick it off.
Moreover,
And this, of course, the heading being judgment on Jerusalem. Now, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Just remember that. All right, I just want to say that.
moreover, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Now, thou son of man, wilt thou judge? Wilt thou judge the bloody city? Yea, thou shalt show her all her abomination. Then say thou, Thus says the Most High, the city.
Just a second. Let's name some of those abominations.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's name some of them now. We got to go into that now. You can't just leave that open now.
Oh, yeah.
Can't just leave that out there, just, spitting in the wind. All right, you got homosexuality. All right, adultery. We're talking about Jake now. All right. Unruly children. And that's not by accident, by the way. All right. Because someone mentioned I can't remember who exactly it was, which one, I can't remember if it was Pilgrim's Camp, but they made a good point. And the fact of the matter is this: you want to come down on me for discipline my children, and yet you want to throw me in jail or whatever other actions you want to take against the parents, and yet they grow up to be pieces of shit to the point where they do something, the police shoots them down dead in the street, and there's no penalty for the officer that killed my son, all for the simple reason that you've got laws in place that deter me from managing my household. This is crazy. It's madness. And we all know there's a greater purpose, because this is just something else that, all right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, because he hates us so much, all right, that this is one of these unrighteous decrees, Isaiah 10 and 1, a long list of them, but it's aimed at preventing us from becoming a nation, period, let alone a strong nation. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you got murder.
Yeah, yes.
Murder, adultery, covenants, the democracy, the financial system, Hollywood and entertainment.
Yeah, it goes into programming. That's something else. Another thing that set up that it's now, like I said, about raising our children. It's the TV and video games and all sorts of the music industry, all that is set up against us.
Religion.
Oh, yes.
Religion.
Yes, all that.
Idolatry. That's the one of them idols.
There you go, idols.
That's the number one. That's the number one.
That's what's got Jake and the predicament that we're in now. That's the big one, idolatry.
Religious.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Them the two biggest ones.
Anything you put before the Most High and be an idol.
Then you got the democracy,
Yeah.
The Congress, all them, passing these laws.
Yeah, our people are all caught up in that. You're either a Democrat or you're a Republican. They got us in that box, and our people just, it's two sides of the same wicked coin. It doesn't matter. Anything? What would you leave off? What, 2 or 3?
Greed for greed for this,
Yeah, covetousness.
you know. You know how people don't care, they just want money from this, you know, this fucking Esau, man. They just want money. They betray their own brother, you know.
Exactly.
You know.
Which brings up another point. What are you going to do now? Because everything's headed, they turn everything digital. You notice more and more places you go to, they got these signs up, you know, countries experiencing a coin shortage. Yeah, right. And they're no longer accepting any form of physical currency. All right, so what are you going to do? All those that sold out and killed your brother man, for what? For that filthy lucre that, well, now you're finding out those things that you could do so freely as far as transactions, you're not going to be able to do anymore. You know, on the side, like if you had a skill, you could do things and make extra money. Pretty soon you're not going to be able to do that. You know, just saying. Go ahead.
Then say that, thus says the Most High, the city shedded blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and make idols against herself to defile herself.
We were just talking about that. Idolatry. All right. This is some of the loads here. This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 25. It says, "We lie down in our shame, and our confusion covereth us. For we have sinned against the Most High Yahweh, our power, we and our fathers from our youth even unto this day, and have not obeyed the voice of the Most High Yahweh, our power." Again, going back to what I said earlier, this is why, you know, idolatry is a big thing. I quoted, you know, the Most High saying, you know, have no powers before me. All right.
Christianity.
Yeah, because he's a jealous power. Well, that's a big one, Christianity. All right, they knew what they were doing. You got white Jeebus up there, and our people can't let it alone. They might cause you physical harm if you come up against white Jesus. All right. Oh no, let me get started on Northern Kingdom. Oh my goodness, Catholicism. Yeah, you just might get hurt.
Virgin Mary, ain't it?
Yeah, exactly. You just might get hurt. All right, that's all I had to say on that. But again, idolatry, these are all our transgressions. It's no accident that we're in the situation that we're in, all right? It's not like it's undeserved, because it is. It's well-deserved. Okay, so I think 4.
Thou art become guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed, and hast defiled thyself in thy idols which thou hast made. Thou hast caused thy days to draw near, like the time is they want to act like it's for all, but I think. No, I don't think, but in the time of now, you know, the scripture said it's nearer. You know, it's nearer. It's not far away. You know. So it won't be too long. You know, it won't be. You know, it won't be too long. You know, before it happens.
Oh yeah. It's on its way. Yes, it's drawing near.
It's like in Habakkuk, the vision, you know. Just wait, you know. Just wait on it, you know.
Yeah.
It will come, you know. Okay.
5.
Okay, thou caused thy days to draw nearer, and art come even in thy years. Therefore have made thee a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all country. You know, we the biggest joke on this earth, man. I mean, we the biggest.
all of the races talk about these races of people here in America.
Mm-hmm.
The most.
Mm-hmm.
They get a kick out of talking about us, you know.
Yeah.
All over the world, you know. Japan, all them countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan, just name them.
Yeah.
They hear it. They heard about us, and it's kind of, and it turned into a big joke, really. You know?
This is Psalms chapter 44, verse 13. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us, like you were just talking about. Verse 14. Salaki. Verse 14. It says, Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. Remember, that's part of the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28:37. Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Most High Yahweh shall leave thee. So like I said, we're still under punishment, all right? Even though we're in a time now that slowly that's being lifted, and Deuteronomy 30:7, where these curses are being put on our enemies. All right, so hey, this is a beautiful time, aside from what we're reading now, you know. But like I said, it was well deserved. What we went through, what we're still going through. We're not out of it yet. So it's like, don't get cocky. All right, go, anything else?
Okay. Those that be near and those that be far from thee shall mock thee, which art infamous and much bad.
See, near or far, you know, they taking advantage, you know, they taking advantage of this, you know, our nation, these group of peoples, man. They just worried about these group of race of peoples.
Yeah, polluted man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Especially elite, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they just concerned about these group of people. They really ain't worried about the other races. They just keeping an eye on these group of people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because they know who we is.
Yeah.
They know who we is. Behold, the Prince of Israel, everyone were in thee to their power to shed blood. Our own people, you know. In thee they have set light by fathers and mothers. In the midst of thee they have dealt by oppression with the stranger. But you know, with the stranger, these other the other nations, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, they have vexed the fatherless and the widow. Thou hast despised my holy thing and hast profaned my Sabbath. You know, they don't know. People in the Christian church, they don't even know. Not on these rats. They don't know when the Shabbat is. What they say it is, Friday to Saturday, and
Yeah.
you know, like that. And every week is Friday to Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, they said, I ask you PK. They don't even, you know,
Yeah.
say they lost. You know,
Yeah.
you know they lost.
Also, when you're talking about the last verse, where you're talking about our people siding with actually those that hate us, right, the oppressors and all these other nations, This is Zechariah 7 and 10. It says, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. And they're in clear violation of this, because you're not supposed to do this to your own brother. All right? And yet our people, I'm thinking of Zechariah 11 and 5, you know, where it says, you know, our own shepherds, you know, they're not out for our best interests, in other words. All right? They in it for how much money they can get, whatever have you, whatever material gain, you know, what's in it for them. They don't give a crap about us. So
That's exactly what this chapter is talking about.
mm-hmm.
Number 9, in the men that carry tails to shed blood, and indeed they eat upon the mountain. In the midst of these they commit lewdness.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed they have discovered their father's nakedness.
And let's be clear, when it talks about men that carry tails, it's talking about slanders, all right? All these accusations, false accusations being put out, you know, like a bunch of women, you know, that sort of thing. Talebearers, false accusers. All right, go ahead.
Okay, they said, indeed they have humbled her that was set apart for pollution.
Mm.
The black woman.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the black
Yeah.
woman, man, they
Yeah, boy.
you know,
Trying to avoid that, but yeah,
you know,
it's inevitable, you know, it's going to come up.
they set her up, you know, they set her up, you know, they set her apart like in Michael, you know, they set, you know.
Well, it's also talking about the nation as a whole, too.
Yeah.
Because when you go into Lamentations, 1st and 2nd chapter, well, the whole book, but primarily those two, where it talks about she's, well, let me get it here, I don't want to misquote it. Let's see. About all her lovers, you know, betraying her. Let me get it real quick. Let's see. Lamentations, I might well start at 1 and 1. It says, how doth the city sit solitary that was full of people? How was she become as a widow? She that was great among the nations, and princess among the provinces, how was she become tributary? All right, talking about us as a nation. She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They have become her enemies. That's as a nation, and that's also when you break it down, these damn women out here, you know, they're so quick to jump on everybody else's bandwagon, you know, even if it's going to do us harm. You know, I keep, in my mind, I'm thinking of that infamous picture of Gloria Steinem with who? The black woman raising a fist in the air with that feminism bullshit, and how much that hurt our people. That's the example that I have in my head. We all recall the picture that I'm trying to. Gloria Steinem, the fake Jewish, all right, and the jig with their, you know, fist raised. You know, like,
Yep.
that's why our families are effed up to this day. I'm through all that. As I continue to think about it, I'm almost speaking on it. Go ahead,
Okay.
We ain't got
And
much
one-
time. We ain't got much time now. Just
And-
beware.
And one has committed abomination with his neighbor's wife,
Oh yeah.
and another has lewdly defiled the daughter-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
and another indeed has humbled his sister, his father's daughter.
Leviticus 18 chapter. All day, every day. This whole thing.
Indeed, they have taken gifts to shed blood.
thou hast taken usury and increase, and thou hast greedily gained of thy neighbor by extortion,
Mm-hmm.
and hast forgotten me, says the Most High. Behold, therefore I have smitten my hand at thy dishonest gain which thou hast made, and at thy blood which has been in the midst of thee.
Precept. This is Micah chapter 7, verse 2. It says, the good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. Another one, Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 26. I'll get it real quick. Jeremiah chapter 5.
Which language would you like to learn?
Verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap, they catch men. You know, what's the common expression as we know? We're so worried about your own people. You know, these Edomites just have, you know, run of the, you know, because they got you fighting amongst yourself and, you know, worried about yourself. Just think of the ghetto. It's no accident. You know, the projects, etc. It's no accident. That is the way it is. All right. You can throw Willie Lynch or whatever else in there. It's just, you know, the curses. All right, go ahead, up.
Can thy heart endure, or can thy hand be strong in the day that I shall deal with thee? I, the Most High, have spoken it, and I will do it. And I will scatter thee among the heathen, and disperse thee in the countries, and will consume thy filthiness out of thee.
And he did and is still doing. This is a weeding out process, if you will. You know, often reference to gold that's tried in the fire. That's what it amounts to. It's separation has to, you know, be, you know, the 2/3. Go ahead.
And thou shalt take thy inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen, and thou shalt know that I am the Most High.
Saying that that's the curse going back to them when we start coming back to know who we really is. When, you know, when we come back, when the Most High put.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know,
like I said, we need time. Time. You don't have to read the whole chapter. What else is point being, you know, these curses were put on us for a reason. All right. We should have really jumped down to 25 on down, because that would have. Let me go ahead and read it. This is verse 25. It says, there is, as a result of what we've all said, you know, idolatry and all these other things. You know, this is why the curses were put upon us in the first place. All right. And Jake just never learns. He's hard-headed, he's stiff-necked, and he continues to wonder why we continually getting our asses handed to us. This is why. This is Ezekiel 22 and 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls, talking about our so-called spiritual leaders. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. What did I say about, you know, for filthy lucre and all this? Is going to get into it. This is the state of all our religious so-called leaders today. All right, I lost my place. Verse 26, it said, her priests have violated my law and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane. What? Marrying all these gays and stuff like that. That's profane. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and then profaned among them. You don't hear that in these churches about observing the Sabbath. All right? Because what? They've taken the fear of the Most High away from Jacob. And Jacob just thinks they can do anything. Verse 27. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening the prey, to shed blood and to destroy souls. And that's what they're doing, to get dishonest gain. It's all about that money, that filthy lucre. All right? Verse 28. And her prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies unto them, saying, Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, when the Most High Yahweh hath not spoken.
That's right.
So they're telling you lies in the Most High's name. What kind of punishment do you think is going to come as a result of that? 29. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. All right? Up, the laws of the Most High are done away with, and yet you pass that collection plate around several times each Sunday in a single service.
Yep.
Well, that tithing is still operational. All right? So, like I said, this is just us letting our enemy dictate book that was given to us, and that's this right here. All right. So what I'm going to attempt to do now, if I can find it, is at the end of the day, this is what's bringing down this wicked kingdom, America, or whatever else you want to call it. All right. This is the way it was. The truth is bringing us down. All right. Not firearms, not tanks. That's not our blessing. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 15, verse 16. It says, Take this holy sword, a gift from the Most High Yahweh, which thou shalt wound the adversary. This is what's, Hosea 6 and 5, real quick, if you will. If you don't mind. You got it?
Hosea 6 and 5.
Mm-hmm. This is what was meant. Now, the sword is not our blessing, it's Esau's. All right. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. This is how we're bringing down the strongholds, all right, that Esau has put up. The truth, all right. You got that yet? I'm going to close with this. I think I get it before you will. All right. This is Hosea chapter 6, verse 5. It says, Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. What does he mean by hewed? Therefore I have hewed, this is Strong's H2672, and that's katazab, to dig, cleave, divide, all right, cut, dig out, cut down, all right, to hew in pieces, all right, and that's what he's doing, but it's with what? The words. This truth is hurting this devil. This is what's got him on the run. This is why he's being forced to do what he's doing now and trying to establish his new world order. All right, so with that, I'm pretty sure it's pretty much all we can say on the matter. All right, it's cut and dry. All right, so with that, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash, and of course, double honors once again are due to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. All right, so with that, Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.